probably at the base of my journey in life is asking the question, why? It's perspective. There's always something going on in the world, in our lives, in the lives of people that we love. There's always something going on. It's the perspective that you put on that which creates your personalized reality around the situation. Because there is no one reality. We all perceive things differently based on who we are, what our journey has been. The thing about perspective is that it is always under our control. So as I teach mindset and positive thinking, I try to remind people that we cannot change facts. We can control perspective. Reality is equal to facts plus perspective. I've combined spirituality, science, and psychology because you need all three in order to change your beliefs. There is psychology involved in changing your beliefs, but here's what I've found. We believe faster when we can see the science behind something. Anytime humanity has moved forward in a leap has been because science proved something that made people go, oh, and then all of them changed their belief like that. Science helps us to shift our beliefs faster than anything else. And then spirituality, because we all have this intuition and we have to use that in conjunction with psychology and science to find our own path and our own truth.
Hello, everyone. Today on Maleeha Shahid Speaks, we have a tremendous guest. I love her. Yes, I love all my guests. But you know why I find her inspiring as well is because of the fact that we're the same height. But she is a monument of positivity. But some people who are extremely nice, but they also know how to hold their ground. This is someone I learned that from. And how does that happen when someone knows how to hold their ground, but also do not, lose their values of kindness and compassion? And it is those people who have seen the highs and lows of life. And like I always tell, that I bring my listeners my circle of influence of who I lean in on, who I learn from, or who I reach out to when I'm in a difficulty. So, hello, Zehra.
Hi, Maleeha.
How's it going?
Fantastic. I'm just trying
fantastic.
to take in that introduction. I was like, okay, is that really me?
Yes, it is. So, Zehra Mahoon's journey is of an author, a transformational coach, a speaker, a TEDx organizer. And today's conversation will focus on what she taught me not too long ago, but also on mindset. And I will come back to what she taught me. Mindset, resilience, purpose, public speaking, reinvention of our growth and helping others step into their voice and potential. And Zehra does all of that and more. So let's dive in. Zehra, welcome again.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure.
And before you get into anything, I want to congratulate you on your recent TEDx talk.
Thank you so much. Wasn't it phenomenal?
It was phenomenal and you were amazing.
Thank you so much. I felt, my talk was about doubt and self-doubt and self-worth.
Yeah.
But I knew I did it well. Mm-hmm. But you still come out with, really? I did it okay? Yeah. And for some reason, and I will be very, very open about it, the audience is the audience, but I think what I was looking out for was my husband. Oh, what would he think? And I don't know why I spiral into that. Maybe he means a lot to me, and he was happy. So I thought, if he's happy, then I'm happy. Then that's fine. But thank you
that's
so
all
much.
That matters.
I appreciate it. Yes.
Yeah. But you wait till you hear other people's comments, because we have this thing, when we give more credence to other people's responses rather than our own friends and family, because, oh, you're my friend, that's why you love my talk, right? But when someone that you absolutely don't know says your talk was awesome, that's when it really hits you. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And yes, people that I did not know have reached out.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
It is something that you had said to me, and let's dive into it.
Okay.
You said this to me very recently. Maleeha, what was your intention of doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If your intention is clean,
yes,
it will hit all the notes. And that is why I wrote my book, and the talk came out of the center of my book.
Yeah.
And the intention was that I felt all of the inner voices really speak loudly of doubt, worth, and so much more. And I wanted to speak out about it because there's no harm sharing your vulnerabilities. Like a lot of thought leaders
Absolutely.
share with us
Yes.
that vulnerabilities are sometimes your power. And
Yes.
I loaded that thing and used that as a power myself.
Absolutely. So you said many things there, and I want to touch upon them. The thing about you that I really love and respect a lot is that you give attention to your intention. And that's important. If we hold an intention, but we give attention to the opposite of it, we are actually visualizing a negative outcome. So you have to visualize a positive outcome, and that comes from giving attention to what you intend.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And
Thank you.
this is what goes missing for a lot of people when they are not able to achieve their goals. Any goal that you want to accomplish, you have to go back and remind yourself over and over again why you're doing it. What is the intention? And that's why I asked you that question. What is your intention for doing this talk?
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to bring that further down the episode, but I will be a little open with you, is the fact that when I had written my book and it was ready to be published and the date was coming closer, I started getting cold feet. And that's when I asked you, maybe I should shelve it. It's fine. It's okay. I learned a lot from the book. And you had said to me, what is the intention of it? And thank you for that grounded advice.
Yeah. You have to revisit why you're doing things and hold on to that. If you let go of that, you can spiral.
Yeah.
Right?
I've spiraled a lot.
Well, I have too.
I feel that spiraling is a good thing as long as you don't spiral too much.
All the way.
You ask the right question and ground yourself.
Yes, exactly.
What do you think about that?
Absolutely. That's why our self-talk is so important. You know, you hear a lot of coaches and self-help gurus talking about your self-talk. In psychology, in therapy, we talk about self-talk. Self-talk is so important because it's the process of acknowledging your fear. Never ever put a lid on a fear because it will not go away. It's like a pot of boiling water. And if you put the lid on it, it's going to explode. You have to acknowledge your fears and then find a way to deal with those fears through your self-talk. Because it's never the end of the world. You're making it out to be the end of the world, but it never is. And so you've got to soothe yourself and remind yourself that things are going to work out for you. You don't know how, but they will work out. Because here I am. And if anyone looks back at their journey, they're going to be surprised. Did I really do that? Did I really overcome that obstacle and that situation and that situation? And if you could do it then, you can do it again.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. So you came in my life, and I don't know if I told you this, but this is a very interesting story. About a couple of years ago, somebody wanted me to sign up as a public speaker. And they said, well, we've heard you speak. It's awesome. You really are positive and so on and so forth. So do you have a reel? Have you spoke at the TEDx stage? And I said, no, I don't think I'll ever do that. I've never heard of it. And you know what? Sometimes I go like with a no, and that's fine. And then you came in my life and you introduced me to the TEDx platform. But the platform itself was a beautiful journey that we took together. But what was also beautiful is knowing you. And you have inspired me to talk about journey of transformation, journey of looking at yourself with a different lens. Just you had said the positive talk, the self-talk. And we live in a very uncertain world where this is more than ever necessary. So tell me something more about it. How do we make sure that our listeners kind of see through your lens how they go through uncertainty?
That's a fantastic question, and it's probably at the base of my journey in life is asking the question, why? And the thing is, it's perspective. There's always something going on in the world, in our lives, in the lives of people that we love. There's always something going on. It's the perspective that you put on that which creates your personalized reality around the situation. Because there is no one reality. We all perceive things differently based on who we are, what our journey has been. The thing about perspective is that it is always under our control. So as I teach mindset and positive thinking, I try to remind people that we cannot change facts. We can control perspective. Reality is equal to facts plus perspective. The problem is people try to change facts.
Yeah.
They try to say, oh, this should not happen or this should not have happened. They try to change the facts. What I teach differently is you have no control over the facts. The facts are the facts because they involve other people, other situations that we don't have any control over. The only thing we control is our perspective. So if you can talk yourself into not trying to change the facts, but finding a way to look at what my mother used to call the silver lining.
Yeah.
Right? Always look for the silver lining in this situation. So you spilled the milk, but what can come out of this? Oh, I learned I should not hold the glass that way to spill the milk, right? So there's learning in everything that helps us to improve our future. What has happened, and what is happening in the world just now is happening in the world. I have no control, you have no control. What we have to do is find a way to navigate it. And that navigation is perspective. So, for example, in any economy, if the economy is booming, there are still people going bankrupt.
Yeah.
And if the economy is in shambles, there are still people going bankrupt. And there are people making a lot of money in an economy that isn't doing well, right?
Yeah.
So what is the difference?
Yeah.
The difference is you find an opportunity and you go with it. That has to do with perspective. It doesn't have to do with facts. Because the fact is, opportunities are there for everyone.
Yeah, that is true.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And is it okay to say that opportunities are always there, but you have to have that keen eye or the positive mindset to embrace it as well?
You have to listen to your inner guidance because all opportunities are not for all of us. So we've got to follow what we are ready for. And if we see an opportunity that we are not ready for, we can prepare ourselves for it because that's where the abundant mindset comes in that says, sure, I can't do it now, but I can prepare myself for it so that I can do it later.
That's very interesting. That is very interesting.
Yeah. Instead of saying that, oh, that's gone and now I will never have it.
Yeah.
No, there's abundance in the universe.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
There is. So you coach people.
Yes.
You have many friends who come and seek wisdom from you. You are an author. And you do many other things. And I've seen you in the community. You do many other things, which is obviously organizing TEDx. But I've seen you host panel discussions, boosting businesses, and so on. I want to talk about reinvention. And what would you say that looks like for anyone? And how does reinvention in your vision means? And I could give you my own definition, but I want people to listen to yours.
Whoa, what a question. I could spend a lot of time talking about this one. But Canada is a meeting place of people from all over the world. This is an immigrant community. And if you're an immigrant, you have reinvented yourself.
Yeah.
We all go through it. And you don't actually have to be an immigrant to reinvent yourself because people pivot these days. Sometimes you're laid off and you pivot. Sometimes a life situation happens and you pivot. People pivot all the time. Pivoting is easy if you tell yourself you can do it. And pivoting is hard if you tell yourself, I can't, or I have all these challenges and obstacles. So to me, reinvention is possible. It depends on what you're reaching for. Problems happen for people when they reach too far out. Reach closer. Have that success under your belt. Then reach for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So as you're talking about all these things that I do, and sometimes actually I find it difficult to explain to people what I do because I do so many things. But that has all happened because I keep reaching for more. I get to a milestone that I say, okay, I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to do this. And once I reach it, I celebrate it, and then I reach for more. And then I reach for more, and then I reach for more. If you'd never stop to celebrate and re-evaluate what next, because a lot of times I find people get caught up in what they are doing, and they keep doing it over and over again, even though the joy of doing it has gone. They are just doing it because that's what they know how to do. And I've learned not to do anything that feels painful. If it's painful, I'm moving on. I'm doing the next thing. I'm going to do those things that I find joy in. So maybe I have ADHD, I don't know. But I keep moving from one thing to another, looking for joy.
Yeah. So here's what it is. Painful for me was going through university. But that also gave me joy. And painful was writing papers. It was almost tears.
Yeah.
But it transformed me in many ways.
That's the thing. It stretches you when you reach for more. We have to reach for more because stagnation sucks out the joy of life. So this is why when I say I keep reaching for more, and then I learn new skills and I'll do more things, because the stretch is hard, but it feels so good.
It does. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
yes.
You had raised something earlier about limiting beliefs. And I talk about limiting beliefs in my book as well. And I've read Jim Hewitt's book, and the name will come in my Limitless. That's the book, right? And he talks about limited beliefs and how we stop ourselves from reaching or learning or put a barrier in front of us and our success.
Yes.
Can you expand on that?
Whoa, that's another thing we can spend a lot of time on. So many years ago, in order to fix my own life, I've always been on this journey of discovery. And I reached a point where no one thing has all the answers, basically. Psychology does not have all the answers. Science does not have all the answers. Spirituality does not give us all the answers. But a combination of the three is fantastic. So what I've done and what has helped me, and this is what I use in order to help other people, is I've combined spirituality, science, and psychology. Because you need all three in order to change your beliefs. There is psychology involved in changing your beliefs, but here's what I've found. We believe faster when we can see the science behind something. Anytime humanity has moved forward in a leap has been because science proved something that made people go, oh, and then all of them changed their belief like that. It happened when penicillin was discovered. It happened when we learned to make telescopes, the glass. And so science helps us to shift our beliefs faster than anything else.
Yeah, people see facts, right?
Exactly, exactly. And then spirituality, because we all have this intuition and we have to use that in conjunction with psychology and science to find our own path and our own truth. Because it's not the same for everyone.
That's true.
So I find that when you combine these three things, that you can find the answer to anything in life. And that is when you can start really having control over the rudder that is in the boat of your life, like have that steering wheel control of your life.
So we've talked about reinvention. We talked about limiting beliefs, and I know we have limited time because we
Mm-hmm.
could write books on
Mm-hmm.
just the one topic
Oh, yeah.
alone. But what is the fears and obstacles what are the tools that you use to overcome fear and obstacle in your life?
The very first thing is to recognize it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If we keep thinking that what we are afraid of is real, it is a fact, then we make it into a fact because of our perspective aligning with the fear.
Yeah.
We have to recognize fear and then find a way to disprove it. So whenever I am afraid, I look for ways to disprove the fear. When I can prove to myself that that fear is not real, I can overcome it. So how do I do that? I have so many techniques that I've evolved over the years, but I have a paradigm. I call it the 6 thinking choices. In any situation, any life situation that you're encountering, you can look at the past as past positive or past negative, now negative or now positive, future negative or future negative, or future positive. We have to make positive choices. Yes. So if I look at my past, I can say I was a victim of abuse. I was whatever. Like, I could tell you my life story. It would take too long. But I could go negative. Yeah. I've never had this. I've never had this. Or I could go, oh, I overcame that. I overcame that. I overcame that. And look at me. Here I am having conversation with Maleeha Shahid on her podcast, right? Like, I could see the wins or I could see the losses. Yeah. And I can do that with my past. I can do that in the now. And I can do that in the future as well. I just have to make sure that when I become mindful of the fact that I'm making a negative thinking choice, that I pivot to the positive. Yeah. So am I living in the past negative? If I am, I'm going to say, what can I think about? Yeah. That's positive. And the beauty of it is, Maleeha, I have found that the easiest way to become positive is not to think about my life at all.
Really?
Can you believe that? Yes, because I used to try to think positively about my life, but I have discovered that there is power in not thinking about your life at all. Yeah. Think outside your life.
Okay. That's a very different thinking, but interesting.
Because what that does is it removes the fear. You have the fear when you're thinking about your own life. But if I'm thinking about the birds and the bees and the sky and the weather and the beautiful trees, I'm not afraid.
No.
So if I remove fear, then what happens is I have more clarity of thought. And now I can come back to my problem with more clarity of thought and navigate it and find a way around it.
That's true.
Fear paralyzes us. See, we talk about, in psychology, we talk about the fight, flight, and freeze response. All of those 3 responses are fear-based. If I remove the fear, I can have clarity and I can figure out any problem.
That is very true. Here's interesting thought. And I wrote that in my book about in Contradictions of Passion and Politics. That
beautiful book.
Thank you so much. My mom and my aunts used to sit in a circle every night and talk about the lack. Of all the lack. Same thing again. La 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 la, go on and on.
Yeah.
And one day I was like, this is it? Is that what I'm going to talk about every night? Like, is there something new?
Yeah.
Give me something new,
yes.
right? And I stopped sitting in those circles.
Yeah.
My mother continued it, but maybe that was her circle.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm not saying I'm any unique to stop that lack, but we have to. We have to break that circle.
That's right. Yep.
And I want to ask you something. There was a growth coach that I talked to, and he said something very interesting. You have to break these cycles.
Yes.
Whether they are generational cycles,
yes.
whether they are mental cycles or anything. Can you shed some light on that?
Yes, absolutely. I say we have to break the chain of pain. That's how I state it. And yes, you can only break the chain of pain through realization that it is a chain of pain, which is what you did. You said, oh, is this what it's going to be like? I don't want to participate. And that's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to participate. I was listening to someone long ago. I forget who it was, but this stuck with me. He said, I was talking to my taxman, and my taxman said, the economy is bad and I'm doing your taxes, and how come you have grown your business when the economy is bad? And this man said to his accountant, he said, yeah, the economy is bad, we decided not to participate.
Interesting.
Right?
Simple answer.
We decide, and this is the thing, we buy into fear-based thinking. We don't have to.
Yeah.
And this is where, mindfulness, I teach meditation and mindfulness, and part of mindfulness is the realization of, this is not good for me, I am therefore not participating.
Very interesting. Stop participating in the negativity and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Zehra, you brought some books today.
Yes.
Can you share at least the titles and a little bit about those books? I would love to hear about them.
Okay, so I'm a serial writer. Like, I'm serially writing. I have 3 or 4 on the go all the time. My writing journey was an adventure. I started writing a blog post and it became so long that I decided it couldn't possibly be a blog post. So it continued into being my first book. To date, I've written 26.
Wow.
My philosophy is, when I learn something, I write a book about it, because it's the easiest way for me to share what I've learned with other people.
That's beautiful.
And so, yes, there are many books. There are workbooks because of the strategies that I used for myself. And there are books where I explain how life works. And that's basically what the books are. Thrive, the book that I've got on the table there, it captures the science behind how energy moves, because our thoughts are energy. Our thoughts, you've seen this on television. If you haven't experienced it, I hope you haven't experienced it personally, but we can capture brainwaves, right? Yeah. That's how we see how the brain is functioning. We have lie detector test. What is that? It is also measuring our energy. And so our energy is like the same rules apply as the rules that apply to other forms of energy, like heat and light. So when you start understanding at a very simple level how energy works, then you can start being in charge of your own energy and use it to your benefit. We are wasting our energy. Most of us are wasting our energy.
I do believe that. I think for part of my life here, many years, I wasted a lot of my energy. I'm not talking about out of lack. I'm talking about my eyes weren't open. And when I put myself in the growth mindset, a lot of things changed.
Yes.
So here's what it is. You're an author. Whatever you learn, you put it in print. That is a beautiful giving part of it. And I feel that's awesome. And with writing so much, and there's someone who told me this, when you empower yourself, put your words out there, put your talk out there, there will be criticism. There will be people who will come and say things, because people say things.
Yes.
Have you felt that? And how did you overcome that?
It's been a long time since I encountered anything like that. I'll tell you 2 things that, and this is how I see it. First of all, I realized that I'm writing for those people who will benefit, and if one person benefits, my job is done.
Yes.
So I'm not going to worry about those people who are not benefiting, because they're just not ready at this point in time to benefit. And that's totally okay. I'm not here to change everyone. I am here to change those people who are ready for change and who are ready to change because of the way I explain things. Because we explain things in different ways, and I can make sense to some people, but not everyone. That's totally okay. I don't have to worry about those people who don't. The other thing is, what I've learned from now being consciously in control of my own energy is that there is the law of attraction, which says you will attract to yourself whatever you put out there. And so if I'm in charge of my energy and I put out my energy in a way that is positive and loving and non-judgmental and understanding towards people that they are all on their own individual journeys, then I am not afraid of any type of criticism at all. It doesn't bother me. I think I don't attract it, first of all. And if it comes my way, I deal with it with love and understanding that this person is searching for answers and not finding them. And they are critical because they really want to learn. Here's the thing, the person who is critical is the one who really wants something really badly and is not able to find it.
Yeah.
And that person needs acknowledgement, they need validation, and they need someone to say it's okay and you will figure it out. Maybe not through me, maybe through someone else.
That's true.
And so I find that when I come from that attitude as a teacher and coach, that I always have wonderful conversations and I never come across any sort of criticism that I can't deal with.
That's beautiful. I'm going to ask you about energies because you ended that answer with the fact that we are wasting our energy.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you tell our listeners how not to waste our energies?
By being mindful, by being present, by understanding what serves me and what does not serve me. If I'm going into worry, what is worry? Somebody said this, it's not mine. Somewhere on the internet, I came across it, that worry is like a rocking chair that is going back and forth without going anywhere. And so understanding when you do that, you're going back and forth and not going anywhere, that's a waste of energy. All of worry and anxiety is a waste of energy because it's not productive. So to understand that I am worrying just now, so I need to breathe, I need to ground myself, I need to go for a walk, I need to take my mind off my problems, I need to put myself in a place of gratitude and satisfaction. When I do that, things don't seem as bad. It's perspective. And I use this analogy when I'm teaching people. It's in one of my books. I don't remember which one, but perspective. So let's say you and I are going on a hike. And we are going up this beautiful mountain, but at the base of the mountain is this horrible shack. It's literally coming apart at the seams. And we look at this shack and we say, you know what? This is dangerous. Somebody should do something about it. They should demolish this. And it's a black spot on this beautiful landscape. Anyway, we go up on our climb and we go to the summit of that mountain and we look down at that same shack and then we say, oh, the person who owns that shack, they own a piece of heaven. Change of perspective.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true. Something that is coming to my mind, and I know I've got a signal to wrap up, but what is self-awareness for you? What does it mean?
It means knowing what is good for me and not good for me.
And it also comes in not wasting your energy.
That's right. So it's like, what is worry is like a hot stove. Children learn very quickly not to touch hot. Worry is like a hot stove. But we go and we put our hand flat on the stove and we keep it there.
That's beautiful.
Just take the hand off.
Yeah.
So you touch worry and you say, oh, I'm going towards worry. Hot stove, not going there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm asked to wrap up, but I am here with Zehra Mahoon, and I could be talking to her all day and just keep on reaping from her wisdom. We learned a lot today about reinvention, about limiting belief, about self-awareness, energies, and so much more. But when you do get a chance, please Google Zehra Mahoon. She is a wealth of knowledge, and she could maybe help you out the way that she has shared her wisdom with me. But always think about being kind to yourself. And I always tell this to my listeners. Sometimes we could really talk ourselves down, and we are the real people against our own success, our own happiness, our own love for ourselves. So be kind to yourself. Thank you so much for joining. Do not forget to leave feedback. please go and Google on Amazon or however Zehra Mahoon's book, but also my book, Contradictions of Passion and Politics. I wrote it with an intention to help everybody every day to think about the positive in our lives, positive in our community, positive in people. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for listening. Appreciate it.